morning, g'day mate, welcome back to Dyson Sphere with myself and Mr. Icarus. Today we're back on the Homeworld. We're back on the Homeworld because we were recently on a slightly different planet, a slightly different solar system. We were all the way out at Magna, doing wonderful things on Magna. We were on Magna number 2? No. Magna 3? Magna 4. Magna 4? Magna 2. One of the Magna planets. We're out on one of the Magna planets in the Magna system. We were building Purple Science. We got Purple Science up. Purple Science was running. Purple Science was doing great. Except Purple Science needs oil. It is one of the few things that actually needs oil. The only thing you need oil for in the game is plastic. So the only thing you need oil for to make particle broadband, to make Purple Science. And we don't really have a lot of oil. At the same time, we're sort of running into some power problems. So what we've done is we've come all the way back to our home system to get a few things done, a few things tweaked. Starting off with the old plastic build. The old plastic build has finally dried up. It is finally dead. Which means we can swap over to this tool and we can go goodbye. Yeah, the game's going to have a bit of an issue whilst I mass deconstruct belts, but you know, apart from that, it should be fairly happy. We're going to get rid of that belt, I'm going to swap back to that tool before bad things happen. I also already have this this energetic graphene, which was one of the things that we were actually missing to run Purple Science. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that energetic graphene that's already processed on this planet, tuck it to this tower, because this tower already has warpers set up and running, and well, just dump it into the network. The network shall remove it, the network shall delete it, the network shall use it, and for once, I'm actually going to dump stuff into a tower and make sure it goes away. I have no idea where that's going, honestly. Where is that going? Oh. It's going in there. Which is running... Huh? Oh. Oh, it's also running, supermagnetic rings. Okay, there you go. Alright, so with that dealt with and that sorted, at the same time, the other thing I need to do is we were putting plastic, into this tower. We now need to demand plastic from the network. Okay, so with that done, we should have plastic coming back out here, which I think I have a bit of plastic on me. Yes, we're going to have a bit of plastic. At the same time, we shall delete the water. Yep, when I say delete, I mean dump on the ground. The other thing we need to do is we need to come over to this tower. And this tower is doing... Oh, actually, we should set up that one to be remote demand as well. Yeah, just in case, just to future-proof ourselves. Okay, so the other thing we need to do is we were short of deuterium. We were short of deuterium to make deuterium fuel rods. Well, we're short of deuterium fuel rods because, well, we just don't have enough deuterium. We can see here that the design is designed to use 2 belts worth, and we're producing, well, in theory, a belt's worth because I have a belt of hydrogen, a belt and a bit of hydrogen coming in. And I need to change that up to provide, well, 2 belts worth. 2 belts worth. I have at least 100 fractionators here, and they have a 1% chance of cracking hydrogen into deuterium. And the fact that I have over 100 here, which means I should have a 100% chance of getting rid of all the hydrogen turned into deuterium. The catch is I need 2 belts worth. So we're going to come stand right about here, and I'm going to put in a... It's done. Now, I was going to put it in as a time-lapse, but I went back and looked at the first footage for how long it took me to build the first one, and even though I knew exactly what I was doing for the second one, it was not worth putting in as a time-lapse. It took far too long. So what we've done is we have another 100 fractionators. Another 100 fractionators being fed with another belt of hydrogen from the magical tower, which is pumping this into here, which is now running this whole build. At the same time, our plastic is now set up, so it is remote supply. It doesn't have warpers. Do we want warpers? Technically, it's a war resource. Technically, we need to have warpers in here. Technically. Local demand, remote supply. Okay, so technically we're going to have some walkers in here. The other thing I need to do is I don't really want to keep burning off all the fuel anymore. So what we're going to do is we're going to come in here. I'm going to remove this belt and remove that belt and remove that guy and that guy and that guy, so we can take all our refined oil, shove it in these storage tanks, and any excess hydrogen is going to come out here, go into there to get burnt off, and then it's going to go into deuterium fuel rod, deuterium to start with. If we max out on deuterium, then it can pop out this way. Nope. Click on the splitter. Pop out this way. This is an overflow. Come down here. Go through all of these burners and make sure there's no hydrogen left. So that's the first thing we need to do. Second thing we need to do is we need to look at power, because it's bad. We were okay with power to start with, and it just got considerably worse after hang on, there's one bit of plastic in my inventory. One bit of plastic. I thought I got rid of all that. Go. The oil is considerably bad. No. Power's bad. Power's bad. So what we're going to do is we're going to head up to the North Pole, because we did have a whole lot of critical photons. In fact, we're backed up on critical photons. So we need to find somewhere to get rid of them, which means we're going to look at these magical things. These magical things get rid of critical photons by burning antimatter. And what we're going to do is we're going to come to, I like right here. Right here is going to be our solution. Right here is going to be our solution. Okay, we're going to bring a belt out of there in slot number 2 up to I don't know where, because I need to look at a star. We want to get a belt in front of the miniature stars. Remove that. Run this belt around here. And come on. Come on. It's so hard to do things with Icarus floating. At least do things accurately. He floats a little bit. Okay, so we're going to put in a sorter, a miniature star. We're going to grab that. We're going to drag that around. We're going to tab it across till we have enough gap between them that they actually work. We're going to come to this side and do... Nope. Remove that power bomb. And do the exact same thing. Out of building range. No, try again. Okay, so we're going to put down a whole bunch of miniature stars. The reason we're going to use miniature stars is they use antimatter fuel rods. Antimatter fuel rods have a lot of fuel in them. In fact, we've been powering Icarus with them for a while. They have 7.2 gigajoules worth of power, which means if we come in here, we set slot number 2 to antimatter fuel rods, just a little bit of them, and we click remote demand, we should get a lot of them being shipped over. They come from a local planet, so they should be fairly quick to get here. At the same time, we might notice that we have lots of antimatter, lots of purple science, lots of all the other sciences except green. So whilst we're here, we need to do a quick pit stop and check on green science. Come on, shipment. It should be super close. There is just too much traffic for me to keep track of that. Hello? Hello? Aha! One rocket ship lands, antimatter comes out. Star. 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 More stars. All the stars. I could walk just a little bit faster than the belt. And crap, that's only halfway. Oh, it's a little bit more than halfway. There we go. And with all them powered up, power load, 50-odd%. Cool. Power problems solved and sorted. Alright, next thing we need to do is we need to go look at green science, which I believe is right over there. Now, green science looks like it's running flat out. The other sciences, we did add some labs on top. We haven't done so with green, so we're just going to take green as high as it'll go. Unfortunately, there's a little bit of clipping going on. If we close our eyes, and good, solved. Okay, so back to the hub, because I want to stop at the hub and I want to drop off the 2 belts I've picked up from somewhere that are still marked 2. And then we're going to continue on to New planets, new prospects, and new things. We want to go there, dump that thing. Did I just see something floating behind? I did. 2 bits of copper. I thought I'd clean that out. Come there. Yep, dump that in a junk pile. Okay, so with that done, science is up and running, and it's going about as good as it can here. We want to make a jump across to Westenhuizen. Before we make a jump to Westenhuizen, I want to pick up one lot of supplies, and that is miniature particle colliders, which are... Hang on, I'll find them. It's the first thing we built up here. Aha! I want to grab 40 or 50? 30. I want to grab 30 of them. Yeah, 30 of them should let us do a whole belt's worth. Do I happen to have... No, let's go grab some assemblers whilst we just happen to be close. Because I don't think... Oh, you finished yet? Have you finished yet? Basically, yes. Storage. Yeah. So next time we're here, I can demolish that. Cool. Whenever that happens to me. Speaking of things demolishing, oil. Our original oil that we started off on, I should mention. That's 0.8. That's not the original. That's the original. So the original is down to 0.1051 per second. Which if we go... That's a bit of oil. That makes it all the way to the tower. Oh, there's another bit of oil. Yeah. Now, it will increase with me getting more technology. More vase utilization. The 6% ore consumption per mined product won't actually bring up the bottom rate. What will happen is the mining speed should give us a faster rate. At the moment, we're getting 10.1 per minute. Most of the decent nodes that we're starting off now on have like several hundred per minute. So, yeah! Oil sucks. Okay, so I want to come here and I want to grab assemblers, have sorters. We'll grab some belt just on the off chance. And then, yes, we need to head off to Westenhuizen, because Westenhuizen is where we're processing antimatter and making antimatter fuel rods. Because if we ran out of deuterium fuel rods, there is a chance the new builds that we've set up in Magna might be a little bit broken. Cool. Expert professional landing as always. Alright. So we can see here that that is definitely maxed out. And that's maxed out. And that's currently almost maxed out, but we're about to start burning a lot more antimatter because we have a lot of critical photons. So what I want to do is I want to remove these. And remove that belt. Cut that belt and that belt. Which we're going to remove entirely. We're going to cut this belt, which feeds antimatter back into that tower from just these two guys. We're gonna bring 3 belts across. Yes, hang on, let's cut that belt as well. We're gonna bring 3 belts across. One is gonna be for critical photons, one is gonna be for antimatter, and one is gonna be for hydrogen. So that's the hydrogen belt, which we can just plug straight in. After these guys are finished bleeding out what they have, remove, and we'll look at your recipe. So, we can see 2 critical photons over 2 seconds gives us 2 antimatter and 2 hydrogen. That means they run 1 per second. So, what we want to do is we want to remove this guy, and I want to have a build that is basically 30 long. I want to be able to process a full 30 per second. Can I get that play? Nope, that plays, and that type, and remove all that. Okay, cool. So, with that out of the way, we need to bring that belt along, because you're going to do critical photons, and you stop right about there. And then we want to go production. Those guys. One of them. Okay, so we're going to bring in critical photons. We're going to bring out antimatter, out hydrogen. We're going to set your recipe to being that one. We're going to drag these guys out. Now, these guys are giant. They're a pain in the ass. So if I put them three apart with a 1 tile gap, in theory, we can get power poles in there. But it's awkward to also cover the sorters. So we're going to have them a 2 tile gap, which makes them even wider. But it should mean I should be able to put power poles here, 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 and here, and here, and here. So on and so forth. And that should power up the whole lot. I can use substations. That is an option. But I prefer not to. Because, well, I don't have them on me. That's pretty much my only reason. Okay, we're going to put the next one there. I'm going to drag that across. I'm going to tab that out twice. And it now means I need to have a belt that comes at least out to here. With a follow-up belt there. And a follow-up belt there. Grab that again. Put you beside your friend. Tab them out till we get a 2 tile. Why? Oh, because you're starting off. Okay. So I actually need to drag it to there. And then put one more manually beside. Okay. Then we're going to have Icarus needs his little torch on. His little torch of nothingness. Okay. We need to bring this belt's critical photons around the front. Down and... Nope. I need to get a power pole in there. Tag that in there. Okay, so there's going to be critical photons. And a whole bunch of power poles. So, critical photons are going to give us hydrogen and they're going to give us antimatter. Now, the catch is, the way the system is built, is it's going to go into fuel rods first, which is probably good, because we're going to plan on starting to use those for power. And then only what it doesn't use... in the way of both hydrogen... hang on. Yes, the inside, but the far left belt goes back to the tower, which carries finished fuel. So only what it doesn't use, we bother actually taking back and plugging, back in the tower. Which does mean that if we're spending all of our critical photons on power, we don't actually have any spare to run science. So, as a side note, I happen to have at least sort. Hang on. Can I get rid of that? Yes. And I can get rid of that? Not really. I happen to have 10 miniature particle gliders left in my inventory. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring out yet another belt of bright sparks. We're going to bring it out to I don't know where. We're going to bring back a belt of hydrogen, which we're going to remove that power pole and that power pole. Belt of hydrogen and a belt of antimatter. And what I want to do is I want to set up a few things actually. Okay, so can I get rid of those? Thank you. What I want to do is I want to put a splitter right here. I want to bring that into there, and then into there. I want to bring this one in here. And what I want to do is I want to prioritize that one first. So we're going to have antimatter is going to priority come in from fuel, okay, to make sure that this never backs up and this keeps going. If the tower's not full of antimatter already, why is that not running? It should definitely be running. Cool. If the tower's not already full of antimatter, what we're going to have is we're going to have a backup system, production, one of those guys right there. And your job is going to provide a backup source of, sorry, you need a filter, antimatter. You're going to do that recipe. We're going to drag these out. I'm going to tab them out so they're in pairs. 10 like so. Power pole there. There. And there. And there. And pick up all the extra junk. And did I missed a power ball, did I? I missed a power ball. I thought I got it. Okay, critical photons go in there. I thought I had antimatter on me. Obviously not. Okay, so that's going to be that up and running. So hydrogen no longer gets burnt off here. What hydrogen does is it gets imported to either here or here to burn off to keep this planet running. At the same time, we have all the antimatter in here. We also now have a very large stockpile of antimatter fuel rods. Speaking of antimatter fuel rods, what is our production stats on antimatter fuel rods? Recipe. Okay, so over 24 seconds, I use 12. To make 2 fuel rods. So fuel rods are not going to be an issue. It's going to be antimatter. So that means 24 seconds, which is 12 seconds. I use no 1 every 2 seconds. Yes. Okay, which means half a second, which means a total production line of 60 long, and then I'm using Mark 3 assemblers, which is 40 long. So 40 long is the max I can build this to. That's 15. That's 30. So that means previous JD boo-booed and could have built this 10 longer. So what we're going to do is we're going to build this 10 longer. Because, you know, I'd hate to have him leave mistakes that weren't corrected by a future JD. Okay, so we're going to foundation in that. We're going to drag that 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That is 40 long. That should, if it's all running, if the system's not backed up, that should make a full belt of deuterium fuel rods. Can I feed you things? Otherwise I'm literally just going to dump it on the ground, and then people in the comment section are going to yell at me. So we should have, by the time we get to the end of this belt, we should have a full belt of antimatter, which is very, very hard to see because it's black on black, but that looks very, very full at that end. And then we're running it back out here, and providing they're all busy. They're not all busy because, as we can see, we already have... Is his light on? It's so hard to tell on a lava planet. They're so dark. But we can see it is backed up to here. So we only have the last couple running because the whole system's backed up, because we have a whole pile of antimatter fuel rods, which is great. On top of that, we have warpers, so we can take that antimatter fuel rods, those antimatter fuel rods, anywhere in the world we want, which is exactly what we're going to do. But before we do that, we're going to make one more stop, and that one more stop is going to be IC smelting, just to have a quick look to find out why we were requesting things and it wasn't showing up. I'm willing to bet because IC smelting is just being pushed to limits a little bit. It also could be because it's slightly shorter materials. So, quick stop to IC smelting, and let's just do all this from map view. First off, we're almost out of iron. Good, yep. We're definitely out of copper. We're getting low on silicon, and titanium, and stone. And as for the system outright, which you should definitely sub to JD, we have lots of iron, lots of copper, not a lot of silicon, a little bit of titanium, a little bit of stone, and a little bit of coal. But home is down to stone and coal. Western Herzen, which we were just at, has a little bit of everything, but not a whole lot. And IC smelting is getting poor. So what we want to do... Oh, wow. How bad is stone? Stone is super bad. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to look at our smelting setups. Actually, no, just land. We'll do this from map view. Okay, actually, first off, power. Does it happen to be a power issue? Because that's easy fixed. It is not a power issue. Okay, alright, fine. Alright, smelters. Now, I have lots of smelters not turned on. We can turn them on as required. I know many of them are probably required, but they're not on yet. So, we have brick. Brick is good. We have silicon, which looks like we're actually short on having silicon being imported. That's why we're short on silicon. Okay, energetic graphene's fine, because that was giving us issues before. That's brick is fine, glass is fine. Iron is okay. Hang on, iron is okay, but this is important, does not have warpers. We can see we have warpers here as a local demand, remote supply, but they're not being shipped in yet, because I'm not intentionally not bringing them into this system just yet. Well, not universally. They are here in select cases, but we'll get to that. Silicon, we are definitely running short on silicon. Copper's going great. Iron is struggling. And that steel, they're both fine. Titanium has already been moved to dedicated smelters. Okay. Titanium is struggling, fine, and fine. Okay, so let's explain warpers. Let's pick silicon. So silicon, I really want to try and exhaust this system and definitely exhaust this planet. So consequently, anywhere we have silicon. Aha! Silicon. First off, many miners. Many miners make short work of everything. Secondly, they come to a little tower. Little tower is basically set up to ship things out all the time. We can see this number is going to keep dropping. As soon as there's a little bit of silicon here, it gets grabbed up, snatched up, and shipped off to a tower. On top of that, we are remote demanding silicon from anywhere we possibly can. But the idea of this planet is definitely to mine things out. Like that's an iron deposit gone. There was an iron deposit, still is an iron deposit in the middle of a smelting array, and this is exactly why I'm mining things out, and I'm really pushing the system to remove all the silicon. Like the fact that they're on slower belts doesn't matter because they ain't running any faster. We are thoroughly mining out everything as fast as we can. You know, there's a silicon on faster belts. Doesn't make an ounce of a difference. It doesn't go any faster. There is what's left of a titanium down to one miner. Yeah, we're trying to mine out this planet as fast as possible because I really need to cover this whole planet in smelters. And having stuff in the way makes life difficult. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to smelt everything off this planet first, which means I'm not bringing in warpers, okay? I have set up top tower. Actually, you're missing ships. I have set up the top tower ready to go. We can just turn on probably like 400. Turn this on at any stage. Set this to remote demand. Bring in warpers to here. Once we get warpers to here, they'll get distributed around the planet automatically. Okay. Every tower is set up with, bad example, a local demand for warpers ready to go. But I want to finish mining out this planet, preferably this system, before I do that. At the same time, you might notice there's a small foundation build that suddenly appeared from nowhere. The foundation build, we're bringing in obviously bricks and steel, and we're just mass making foundation with 3 belts of bricks here, plus a half belt of steel and a half belt of steel, giving us 1 belt of steel total, producing 1 belt of foundations. That is a half belt here and a half belt here, which this is a half belt, this is a half belt, that gives me 1 whole belt. On top of that, there's a small buffer on both sides, which designed so once the tower backs up, we can fill up these boxes. These boxes carry 300,000 foundation each. The stacker boxes carry 300,000 foundation each stack, and that is because to cover a whole planet in foundation costs around about 300,000, 330,000 foundation, I think it is. I did do a video. Maybe I'll remember to link it up in the top right-hand corner, or maybe the first pinned comment. It's a fair bit of foundation to do a whole planet. Consequently, I have a lot of foundation ready to go. On top of that, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 stations ready to go to import foundation. And the idea is, if I get to a planet, which I will do in the future, I guarantee you, where I want a foundation of the whole planet, I can put down 5 towers very quickly, import 50,000 foundation in a hurry, and then, look, I fully admit that, you know, I can't keep feeding all these towers fast enough for them to export to me at the speed of, you know, 1,000 per minute. But this has emptying buffer boxes, 1 full belt, 2 full belts, plus 2 half belts, being 3 belts worth. From there, we're taking 2 belts on, feeding them in the next tower. From there, we're taking 2 belts on, feeding them in the next tower. This is taking 1 belt into the next tower, taking 1 belt in the next tower. So I should be able to maintain 3 belts worth of output for foundations over a couple of towers, exported to me as fast as possible. That's the plan, at least. So this planet is going fine. Power is not an issue. There's nothing else I can really do apart from waiting for it to mine out. This is one of the reasons why we're building sites and not necessarily turning them all the way on. So with all that said, I think the next job is to go back to Magna, and we're going to start at Magna number 6. Do I start at 6? You're going to start at 6 because I need to keep an eye on the time. And jump. Now, at the same time, whilst we're walking across, I will mention a couple of things. So this week, many of the videos have been recorded well and truly ahead because Studio 2.0 has been a rumor amongst my channel since, well, Christmas, which is where I have converting and building a whole, my garage, detached garage attached to my house, yeah, it's a detached garage, into a full studio. During this week, I've had all the materials show up. So if you want more details, if you want more information, if you want to follow along, I will be putting stuff up the channel tab or the community tab on the YouTube from time to time. And I will definitely be putting together a video in the future. But for right now, you can... Whoop, that's the gas giant. For now, you can always jump... Oh, that's not good. You can always jump on my Discord. Jump on my Discord. That is discord.gg/JediPlays. Jump on my Discord. There's always a link down the bottom in the description. Right the way at the bottom. It's always hidden there. You can always jump on my Discord. And on my Discord... yep. On my Discord, you can find out all the details. I'm basically posting updates when and where I can about what's happening, how it's happening, how orders and shipments are going, all that sort of stuff. And we've got to Magna number 6, and we can see there's obviously an issue or two, which probably means, yeah, we got like 5,000 rockets ready to go, except no power to ship them. So, system ran out of power. System is off. It's overloaded, so it wouldn't self-boot. It's borderline. Like, as more solar panels booted up, or, you know, we had a sudden gust of wind, we'd be okay. But what I want to do is I want to clear that. I want to swap that over to any of my fuel rods. We're going to request like 200 and hit that up. So, with that done, we're going to clear these guys from the inside. I have no idea what I deleted. Okay, how did it delete a solar panel? No? No idea. I heard it delete something. Okay, I want to come to here. I want to go into the Dyson Sphere Program. I want to go to that. We're going to put down a sun. Now, I still don't have enough power to auto-boot the system. So I'm going to have to manually feed this to start it at least. We're going to build stars to there. Plus, we're going to build stars, come on, to there. And then what I'm going to do to actually manually boot the system is I'm just going to literally throw one bit of antimatter in there. Now, when the shipment gets here and when I remember to turn the filter on, we'll have the rest of the antimatter dump out and get the system up and running. So, with that done, I'm going to delete that, delete all of those. Yep, they're booting up on the inside slowly. Okay, with that done... Oh, there's more of it. Okay, with that done, we're at 900 megawatts worth of power. And how many rockets? They were not connected to the grid. Oh. Oh, of course, when you remove the power generators around the outside of the base, suddenly in the inside of the base and the outside of the base are no longer connected. Okay, with that going, are you guys launching? Well, at least they're all synced up now, right? Not quite. Somehow the power booted from one side to the other. Okay, all right. We are at 700 out of 900. We're actually at a fairly high power load. So what I'm going to do is I am going to leave that belt there because we need to come back next episode to this very same planet. Very same planet. And continue where we left off. We have already done last episode. Well, last couple of episodes, we've done blue, we've done red, we've done purple. We need to go back to... Actually, no, we finished off oil and purple. So we need to start on this planet next episode doing yellow science. And, of course, the wonderful, dead easy, only going to take a second to build, green science. So, with all that said, this is where I'm going to leave today's episode. We're back up and running. We have Magna number 6 back up and running. It is firing rockets left, right, and center. We have our ring in construction. It's getting there. It's getting there. It's a little bit more structure to go to have the belt that wraps around the star, but it's slow going. Anyway, with all that said, this is where I'm going to leave today's episode. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Do hope you've enjoyed, and myself and Mr. Icarus see you in the next episode. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.